leg. I couldn't think of anything. Sorry. So today we have the updated Nehthys deck. I think this will possibly be the final update to the deck. This is the dinosaur version that I have talked about in other videos, but I think this is by far the most consistent, the most resilient. I think it's pretty much as good as it's going to get with the Nehthys rogue strategy. I mean, by card design, most of the Nehthys cards are really slow, but we can do like intricate combo play with them, and of course, I'll mention in the profile that resolving just Devotee will give us access to some more Bird of Sovereignty with the Wind Barrier statue, which is pretty nice because, you know, that's pretty much just like an emptiness type lock. We can pair that up with stuff like Avermax and like Conductor Tyranno to try to keep it alive and protect us through our opponent trying to do whatever shenanigans that they may be trying to do themselves. But I do very briefly explain most of the cards in the profile just because most of it's very widespread already. I mean, it's dinos we're talking about here. There's not really a ton to say, especially seeing as how in the previous video to this one I had James on the channel talking about his own dino profile, which I'll definitely leave at the end of the video so you can check out a pure version if you'd like. But here's my take on Dino Nehthys, and yeah, I'll just let myself take it away from here this time. Okay, so we'll start off the profile with the starter cards. We have 12 in the like of triple Ogre-Raptor. Really not much of a need for me to explain this card. It's pretty well known what the card does at this point. We have double Animadorn. If we don't get to Obi, we can get to this guy. You know, we got the 3 Fossil Dig to help us get there as well, or search. I feel that the ritual cards themselves are not really starter cards. They play more of a role for like an extender, but this alone can start your plays off, so I'll add that in with the starter section. So for the Nehthys package, we have 2 Devotee. I'll explain this one more time. Whenever it is ritual summoned, you can special summon a Nehthys monster from your deck. And then the secondary effect is if this card is in graveyard, you can destroy one Nehthys card in your hand and you can special summon it back from the grave. The recursion ability is quite nice. Resolving this card alone will get you some Morg and Barrier statues, so that is something to note. Then we have the 2 ritual spells, and we have 2 extra foolish to get us either one of those cards. This is the main appeal to me of playing the Dino engine, because with the Mech Knight Girsu engine, you can't play extra foolish burial because you have already set a card if you've resolved the Girsu engine, and if you play this card before you play Girsu, you cannot set cards, period. And then for the rest of the Nehthys monsters, I have the 1 Disciple and I have double Matriarch. I cut this down to 1 again just because of the fact that we have so many starters and the like of the dinosaur package, so kind of figured that we could revert back to just playing 1 of this, but I want to have at least 3 targets for Devotee in deck, and you know, of course I cut 1 of the Devotee and 1 of the ritual spell as well, just because we have the extra foolish and we have triple pre-prep, so I figured maybe that could sort of mitigate clogging amongst those cards. But yeah, moving on. So for the rest of the extenders, we have the triple Baby Ceratosaurus. Of course, this is really good with the Nehthys engine and also with the dinosaur engine. It's also level 2, which is something to note because you can use it for the ritual summon. Ideally, you want to be blowing it up out of your hand though, but I mean, that's quite obvious. We have the 1 Baby Rock. We play only 1 now because you can search Baby Rock with Animadorn, which is pretty cheeky. If you already have the access to the double evolution pill, you can just go ahead and get him there. So that's cool. It can basically gives us another searchable line to get into Fiber. 1 Plague. Yep. Don't need to talk about him either. He's just what we're usually going to be getting off of Needle Fiber. So yeah, that's that. We have the 1 Danger Thunderbird. I realized that there's no reason for me to play the Sacred Phoenix whatsoever because against back row decks, the effect to blow up their back row is never going to resolve. So I just figured, why even play it? It's too slow, and I realized that, you know, this is a searchable target because the Nehthys link says that we can search any level 8 Wing Beast monster, so that'll be our 1 Wing Beast, less of a brick. You know, we can play with it if we draw it, so yeah. And it also still pops back row, but yeah. We have double Conductor because, you know, end board boss monster. This guy's just crazy. So OTK machine. 1 pill, 1 upstart. This should be double pill. I just ordered 2 of them and 1 of them got lost in the mail, so that's unfortunate. So I'm just playing the upstart for now. Yeah, that's that. I mean, the double evolution pill is of course amazing in hybrid strategies with the dinosaur cards, so yeah, that's that. And of course the upstart is the placeholder. For defensive cards, we have triple miscellaneous. This card is a hand trap, but it's also an extender, so that's a little insane. Yeah, not really a ton to say about that. It's the most hated card in the archetype. We got the triple gamma. We have one called by. So this is just like extra protection. Sasaki one of, really no reason not to play it. And then the gamma is just the whole format. We have the driver to go with it here. And then the other two bricks in the deck, we have the one Jirak Galem. It's just a level 2 dinosaur that we can get off Misk so that we can do Marcher Herald plays. So we have the one Jirak Galem there, and then we have the one Barrier Statue of the Stormwinds. So that is the whole main deck. This is probably the definitive version of this deck. It seems to be the best of what I've played with thus far. So we'll move into the extra deck. Starting off, we have the one Hulk. Of course, has to be in every deck. It's a combo deck, so we're going to be playing Hulk alongside his buddy Linkross. So yeah, that's that. We have one Wind the Wind Charmer to get us out of Windlock. This, of course, will get rid of the Stormwinds for you, and then allow you to eventually go into like Boral Sword or things of the like to OTK your opponent. One IP Mask to make our Avermax invincible. One Reaperdocus so that we can get into some Morg with pretty much anything in the deck. And also it's a dinosaur, which is something to note. Last of the Link 2s, I believe, is just the one Sacred Preserver. Of course, this is part of the combo. This alone will get us into our Morg, the Bird of Sovereignty. Because the way the play works is you can resolve Devotee and then you make this, and then this will add you a level 8 Winged Beast and the ritual spell back, and then we can use the Devotee effect in Graveyard to destroy the ritual spell that we added from the grave, and special summon the Devotee. We now have a Winged Beast Link 2 and another monster to use, and that'll get us right into some Morg, so that's nice. Link 4s, we have one Apo. This is definitely could just be anything else at all. Honestly, I would cut this for a third Herald if I could find my third, but I only have two, so one Avermax because he's definitely part of the end board. It's what's going to protect your Barrier Statue. If we get into Tyranno, that can help that as well, but typically we want to be going into this guy so that we can have that extra protection. And one Boral Sword to kill you. This could be access code. I just don't own access code, so one Marcher and double Herald. Of course, you end on one, and then you can send the other one with extra Foolish, which is why we're playing 2, which is why I would like to play 3, but I digress, don't have the third. And then we have the one Evolzer Dolka. We're not playing Logia, the card's kind of useless. This is just overall better. This is, 2 monster negates within himself, and they destroy, which is very nice. The final card is only 14. The final card would be a Lambda. Realistically, it could be any generic Link too, but yeah, that's that. So that is the profile. I hope that you guys enjoyed it. Let me know what you think. This is definitely, I think, the final version of this deck. It seems to just be the best, the most consistent. The Dino cards are broken. Miscellaneous being a card is just really unfair. So yeah, that's all I gotta say, and I'll see you next time, you fucking simps.